Welcome to another episode of Shift with Elena Agar. In this conversation, I chat with Zeev Wexler. He is a digital marketing expert with over 20 years of experience. We discuss a lot of interesting stuff about the power of AI and kind of really he touches base on its rapid integration into our daily lives, emphasizing the shift from technological curiosity to now being a tool for everyday efficiency and growth. So this episode is for you if you're interested about AI, if you're interested about what's happening with AI, if you're a professional who creates content like myself. I think there's going to be a lot of insights that he will share that'll be interesting to you around like how you can maximize your content, how you can create more while still staying authentic to who you are and the message that you want to put out there. Honestly, my mind was blown. I'm really excited about this episode. This was really interesting. So if that sounds interesting to you, definitely listen in. And as always, please like, subscribe, comment, and share. Thank you. Zeev, welcome to the Shift Podcast.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here, and I'm really excited to talk to you.
Thank you. Me too. Listen, I mean, the podcast is all about shifts, and I think we're going through such dramatic shifts in general when it comes to technology and AI, and we're going to dive into all of that because I was like, there's no better person to speak to than yourself, who's like, it's like you're the go-to at this point. We recently met, and the amount of information that you post on LinkedIn and just like your content and the things that we talked about, I think it's going to be a great conversation, and I'm really excited to do this with you. So. To kind of dive in, give my audience a little bit of a kind of, overview of like, how did you get into AI? Why are you curious about this? How did you get involved in the space?
Great question. So, for the past 20 years, I've operated a digital marketing agency that focused on B2B, B2G, business to government. And I was fascinated with marketing automation. And I dove into marketing automation maybe around 2010, 2011. And we saw so much amazing things in marketing automation. At that time, marketing automation was very young. But as we dove in around 2014, 2015, we really got deep into machine learning. And Elena, if I have a talent in life, is I understand where the puck is going. Okay, so when I saw this machine learning and I saw the abilities, and really machine learning is the beginning of I was blown away. And I knew that this is going to change everything. So from that point on, I started learning and focusing on AI. And I started understanding that AI is something that's been since the 70s. People have been working on AI. And I started understanding what is AI. And I'm going to say something, hopefully, it's not going to turn off your viewers. I came to the conclusion that AI is like fire and electricity. We found it, we didn't invent it. We're tapping into something that was in existence. So I know that sounds weird, but the more I work with AI and the more I dive into it, it does things that we didn't teach it. It does things that, we're surprised when we're building these amazing tools. So I digressed a little bit, but basically machine learning got me to really focusing on AI. And when I saw the abilities of I knew that everything is going to shift. So I started talking about AI when people like batted eyes at me, like, what are you talking about? Like, what future movie are you living in? And I was telling people, I was building LLMs. I was telling people this is going to be the future. And it was a very hard journey until OpenAI ChatGPT came out. And that moment shifted kind of society. And this year in 2025, Elena, I have people reaching out to me. So just talk to them. Please help me get AI into my company. And it's such a reversal. So where is AI now in today's society? If you're looking at AI is like a above average university graduate. Okay? That's what AI is right now. But in a year, AI is going to be the top 1% of the most intelligent people we have. In two, it's going to be the 0.01. So we're going to be able to have, the Albert Einsteins, or I know he's very unpopular today, the Elon Musks of today, basically as buddies to chat. And this is just one level. The other levels is agentic AI, things that AI actually does for you. You don't need to do. Then we're moving into CNN, convolutional neural networks. It's AI that sees, not just, you don't just converse with it. So in the future, guys, every physician will have an AI to create a medical health. Every driver will be either replaced or will have an AI to make sure he drives correctly. There's not going to be any fast food jobs. The AI is going to do that better than people. So AI is not going to take over, but it's going to take over everything that doesn't need true critical thinking and also a lot of what does. So the growth of AI is so exciting. I know it was a long-winded answer, Elena,
No,
but
please, please. I love it.
I,
Yeah,
I just go ahead.
please, please.
I think that people don't understand AI.
Yeah.
Okay. I think people think that AI is some kind of a chatbot or AI is some kind of a knowledge system that can do something for you. AI is the fastest technology we've ever adopted. Okay. Everybody has one of these, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we adapted AI 50 times faster than what we adapted smartphones. Okay, so if anybody in the world today has a smartphone, everybody in the world moving forward is going to have their own AI. Every company is going to have their own AI. Every person, every mom is going to have her own AI to help her with groceries and with kids. Everything is going to be AI driven, if that makes sense. And I'll say one more thing and then I'll kick it back to you. There are levels to this, okay? I believe right now, 2025, we're in March, everybody's on level one. Level one is using one of these chat GPTs, God forbid, DeepSeek, Gemini, Claude, Ninja. You have a million of them out there. A lot of them piggyback off each other, but it's a system that doesn't know you, Elena. You're putting on data. It looks at a vast data knowledge that usually is not true, and it brings something back to you that looks really good, but really is not. And in
Mm.
today's AI world, I want everybody to hear this. Today AI world, mediocre is free.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mediocre has never been free before. Today, mediocre is free. But all these things, the chat GPTs, the Claudes, the Geminis, those are mediocre at best and free. So that's level one. What people need to understand is when you put information into those systems, you lose that information. It's no longer your IP. If you write anything on ChatGPT, Elena, I can find out in 3 seconds. I
Mm-hmm.
can find out when you wrote it, what the prompt you gave to write it.
Mm-hmm.
I can find all of that out. Okay. And that just is not going to cut it. So, level two is where I think everybody needs to be this year is basically a custom AI that knows you, knows what
Mm-hmm.
you're trying to achieve, and works for you and not for some database.
Yep.
And level three is where I'm trying to get all my clients and everybody on. It's what we call the holy grail, is your own knowledge base. Securing a knowledge base, having an AI basically learn your knowledge base, and then having a feedback loop to make the AI better and better. If you put that into your tech stack, Elena, into your technology stack, your valuation rises a lot. So there's so many reasons why we should put AI into our companies, into our daily lives, and it's just going to get more and more robust. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, I have so many questions. So let's unpack this. And yes, I mean, I was actually just talking to somebody in the software space, and one of the things that was mentioned was along the lines of, oh no, maybe it was on a pod. I don't remember. I was talking to somebody. I think we were talking. I was on a podcast, and this person was talking about, but basically they were saying how, to your point, when you are, you have to tell your software developers, like, don't just put data into OpenAI, like our company data into OpenAI. And it's interesting because I think there's a lot of misconceptions about AI, and also like the data, the intellectual property piece of it as well, and how accessible the mediocre AI to everybody. So you can't just put that stuff out there. So that's really interesting. But I want to come back to this point in a minute. I want to backtrack to the fact that it's going to be incorporated in all of our lives, and I think it seems scary to people, and some people are still like, oh, it's never going to happen. We're not going to adapt, but it's like it's already happening. I went to my doctor's office, and it was like an annual checkup. And my doctor was like, "Hey, like, do you mind if we're using this AI feature, and it's gonna take notes for us, and it's going to like keep everything and like make sure it's set." And I was like, "What?" And I felt so uncomfortable for a minute because it's so weird. But then I was like, "Hey, you know what? It might actually do a better job sometimes. Like maybe we'll actually summarize it. We'll have all my data." because that's why you have all these tools these days. They're customized to you. They measure your stuff, like whether it's Whoop or Aura Rings, and like they're customized to you. And it's like it provides you data for you to be able to advocate for your health, to manage yourself better. If only we could have that for all these different things that we have, right? But then again, my business partner told me, it's Elena, it's you, because you're open for this adoption. But there are a lot of people who get nervous about AI. So what are some of the biggest like other fears that people have, and how do we make people feel more excited about AI versus scared of it?
So AI is coming and the adoption is insane. Everything has fear. You're probably way too young for this, but I remember the first time that like the voicemail came out.
Mm-hmm.
People were so weirded out by it. Okay? People was like, what is this? I'm talking to a computer. People were so weirded out the first time the voicemail came
Yeah.
out. Like, and I remember people. And then same with the internet, and same with social media, and same with smartphones. Yet, these all dominate our lives. Can you tell me what you do in your life without the internet?
Mm-hmm. I don't even know.
What would you do if I would take your smartphone?
Probably go through withdrawals, and then I might be okay, but I will go through withdrawals.
AI is going to do all of that and more. And I'm talking about mathematical data. Okay.
Mm,
People were way more scared of the smartphone than they are of AI. We're more scared of internet, even voicemail they were more scared of. That shows by adoption because everybody's using it.
mm-hmm.
They may use it for really silly use cases. They may not know the power of it, but everybody's using it. Everybody. Okay. Who do you know that not once a month uses a chat GPT?
Well, maybe my dad, but that's it. Yeah. Yes, most people. Yes, I agree.
But
Yep.
even my dad, okay? My
Mm-hmm.
father, 80 years old, amazing man, Alexander Wexler, love you. He spends his days on Facebook.
Mm,
Okay? If you told me that he would do that 15 years ago, I would tell you you're wrong, right? But he does. So guess what 80-year-olds in 10 years are gonna do? They're gonna be on ChatGPT or something else. So it's coming. Now, how can you kind of lower that fear? Learn, educate, try. Okay? AI can make your life easier and better. It can
mm-hmm.
in anybody's life. So find a function that it does that. It is coming and there's no way for us to stop it. We are on the brink. We either adopt or we're going to stay behind. Now, you want to stay behind? Fine. You don't want to, we invented fire. You want to eat your food raw? Knock yourself out. Okay? Like that's your choice. Enjoy
Yeah.
it. But I'm going to use fire.
Yeah.
Elena, I don't know how I lived my life 2, 3 years ago. There is so many, like we are now on a podcast. I have AIs doing sales for me, marketing, buying Bitcoin. Like, I don't know how I was able to do that before. Like
Mm,
things that used to take us a week as an agency now take us 8 minutes.
mm-hmm.
Same quality. Okay.
Yeah.
Like I can do now literally, I'm not joking, 50x to what I was able to do in 2020. So
Yeah.
how can I give that up?
Yeah, I'm with you. I use a lot of productivity tools, like especially for content creation and podcasting, and AI has been just, just phenomenal. Like no longer I have to pay an external person. I get a subscription. AI does a lot of things too, and I see myself as like an amateur AI user. I'm not very good at it. I'm still learning, but even with the stuff that I do, it's saving me hours. So I think that's interesting. And there's also a lot of talk about, like, yeah, but we don't want to just use AI. There has to remain this human touch. So if we're looking to AI, even like, let's say from a hiring, because that's the time I spend a lot of my work in, is like my talent acquisition, talent development. Yeah, right. We can't just outsource it all. Where is the fine balance? Like if we talk about hiring, for example, like where's the fine balance between where we can maintain the AI, but still, maybe hold on to some of our talent? What are your thoughts on that?
Love the question. AI is not here to replace us. Now, if you're lazy and you're a paper pusher, then maybe AI will replace you. But AI is not here to replace us. But I know that I have already replaced people that do what I do without AI because I use AI and they're not able to compete. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I know for a fact that let's say in my agency business, okay, I know that I have taken business from people that don't utilize AI because I can do things better, faster, cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to win? If
Yeah.
I can do things, let's say I can do things in the exact same level than you, let's say, okay, even though I think I can do it better. But let's say same level, but I can do it faster and cheaper. I won, right? I equivalent. I like this analogy. I would want. It's very manly, but I really like it. I AI for me is like the invention of gunpowder. Okay. Now I'm a former soldier and I'm a boy, so we like those kind of things. So think about this. You're a warlord and you have the best freaking army. You have the best swords guys, the best bow and arrow guys, and you're winning. Okay. And then suddenly somebody's inventing the gunpowder. Okay. And you can say, I'm the best with sword, the best with, I'm not gonna even look at that. But
Mm-hmm.
next time you're gonna face an army with gunpowder, you're gonna die. No matter how good your swords people are, no matter how good your, it's just the other
Yeah.
side has better technology. So that is how I equip to businesses and to personal people what AI is. It's it's gunpowder, it's fire, it's better. So you want to be scared of it? Be scared of it. Can it be used for bad things? Absolutely. Fire can burn houses or can cook your food, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gunpowder can protect you or can explode in your hands. It's definitely dangerous, like anything, worthwhile could be dangerous, but it is just a better way. So we'll go back to the analogy. I'm not eating raw food anymore. I got
Mm-hmm.
fire. I'm cooking it
Yeah.
quickly, cooking it. It's tastier, more nutritious, whatever. So I'm never going to go back to raw. I
Mm-hmm.
can't. And
Mm-hmm.
I think anybody that starts using AI to any kind of level, if I tell you right now you can't use AI anymore, it's going to drive you nuts
Yeah. It's
because
gonna.
you're used to doing stuff, even if it's small stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's just
So my
sorry. Yeah.
my advice to people is have fun, learn, try to do stuff on AI, talk to your AI. Like just say, hey, I'm doing it with my kids all the time. Like, hey, I'm uploading. I have an 8-year-old who's such a talented artist, Elena, and I can't draw to save my life. So I can't help him get better. So I ask ChatGPT or one of our AIs, I ask it act as an art teacher. I upload the photos to it. You should see the beautiful conversations that the AI has with my son. You should see the encouragement and tells him, oh, I love how he did this shadow here, but why don't you think next picture about doing that? And it gives him like drills and things. And it's amazing. I sit down with my 3-year-old and we write stories and then we create images. And like his creativity goes through the roof.
Mm-hmm.
The other night I had a 3-hour drive from Orlando to Sarasota in the middle of the night, Sunday. Um, I was very focused on the road, but I could talk, right? So I spoke with my AI, my personal AI that has my knowledge base. And in those 2.5 hours, we've created work that would take me 8 hours. And I
Mm.
would have needed to be up all night to do that. But the moment I parked home, everything was ready.
Mm. So like recorded everything for you essentially.
I just spoke to the AI and told
Mm-hmm.
the agent what I want him to do. It's not just a
Okay,
chatbot.
gotcha.
So I talked to the AI, we figured out, and then I said to the agent, now go do this.
Yeah.
Okay, go create this document, create this posting, create this plan for the team. So throughout that conversation of the 3 hours, that created work that if I just try to do it myself, it would take me a minimum of 8 hours.
Mm.
Minimum.
So let's dig into this because I think this is super interesting, and we have a live case study, which is we're building a product and so on, and there's a lot of things that come into like building a product, and so when you said like what if the AI went away, one of the things that I would have to take back is my time. Like I would need to put a lot more time into certain activities, which I don't want to do, right? And so I think when you're building a product, you're building a business, there's a lot of things that, to your point, how do I maximize on my time where I can use that time more effectively and efficiently to drive the business and the sales of it versus spending it on things that I just don't need to spend time on. So when you're talking about customizable AI, let's walk through that scenario. So we can use ShiftWell as an example, like where, because people listening to this are a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of people who are curious about AI. Maybe they can use it in their career or introduce this into their businesses. So like, Give me an example, customizable AI. What does that look like, and what can it do for you compared to like a free tool?
Great question. So a customized tool will know you, would know your
Mm-hmm.
data, would know your logo, would know your products, would know how you sell. So when we build a lot of AI products, one of them is like a sales pipeline builder. So you want more opportunities, right, Elena?
Mm-hmm.
If you would just need to field amazing qualified opportunities all day long, you'd be very happy, right?
Yep.
So we built an AI that takes a month, okay, and looks at everything you've done, every successful email, LinkedIn message. If you weren't able to make it, and I want everybody to remember this, if you remember anything about this, remember this. If you were able to make it happen before AI, AI can scale you 10x. If
Mm.
you were not able to make it happen before AI, AI is not going to help you. Just
Yeah.
that simple. So back to your case. Let's say that you are pretty successful, but you don't have all the time in the world. You need to manage so many things. You're an entrepreneur. So the AI sees that when you do these particular things, these types of messages, these types of things, there's an ROI to it. Okay. And then the AI agent will mimic you with your approval. Okay. With knowing everything there is to know about you, having rules of what to say, not to say, who your target market is, all that stuff. Just teaching him what Elena knows, and then sending him to go out and do 100 cold calls a day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, you're not going to lose anything about it because, you were not going to do it anyways. And
Mm-hmm.
then maybe your percentage would be better, but you'll never do 100 a day. And after three, you're going to get tired and move to do something else.
Yeah.
But this particular thing is going to work 24/7 to build your pipeline. So then Elena can sit down with people like me that you want to talk to and just either do the podcast, do the business, really focus on stuff that I need you for. Because an AI wouldn't be able to do a podcast with me, not yet, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But, so that's one use case. Another use case, and I'm gonna, do you mind if I share something?
No, please do.
So I've developed a system, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of, it's our best-selling system. I've been building content for the better part of 20 years. I've won every
Mm-hmm.
award under the sun, okay? I know how to create content that works. And that's been my job. So when one of the first things I done with AI is I said, I'm one of the top 20 people in the world that know how to do this. Why don't I spend 6 months, money, whatever it is, and teach an AI how to do this?
Mm-hmm.
And what I built was basically a system that basically acts like a team of like a marketing team. And here I'll share it with you.
Yeah. And as you're sharing, for people who are just listening, maybe describe it in case they can't see it, if that's possible for you. Yeah.
So there is a process to everything, right? And if you don't know the process, you're lost. But if you know the process, you can now make AI to do something amazing. So what you see here on the screen is basically 6 windows, which is persona, research, writing, create video, create with a link, and SEO audit. Okay? This is basically a process that we use for almost every client when they want to create something. The first thing is we need to really get to know the person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? If your AI doesn't know you intimately, it's not good. So for big companies, we build that persona, but for small companies just want to use our tools, you basically let them know that you are Elena, you let them
Mm-hmm.
know what your goals and focus is, and you got to put in your, gold in, gold out, garbage in, garbage out. So you
Yeah.
got to really put in exactly what you're trying to reach. Put your LinkedIn, okay? Put your website, and now the AI can start researching who you are. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll be amazed how much research the AI can do. Then you load your brands, your colors, your captions, your everything that makes you unique on the brand side. Then you upload logos, pictures, videos, anything that you want to be used in this secure knowledge base. And then you select an avatar. We have 500 of our own avatar models that act amazingly, or we can make you as an avatar. So, Elena, I can make you an avatar that nobody's going to know that you're an avatar. People are going to think it's you. And
Mm-hmm.
we can put you on videos. We can, it's not for podcasts, of course, but it's
Right.
for content. So
Yeah.
you select an avatar. You can go without an avatar. You can create your own. And now you save your persona. The next part is research. This is something really interesting, Elena, and this is something that you won't know if you don't have 20 years of experience.
Mm-hmm.
People think usually not the right thing about how people can find them. Okay. 80% of the time when I go for companies, brilliant people, they tell me, oh, people search for that. When I look for that, that's definitely not how people search or what's going on. So this is a tool we built that used to take us literally 8 hours, Elena, to figure out what's the most trending things on Google with a keyword. So we
Mm-hmm.
built that in 3 minutes, does 8 hours of work, and you know exactly what's the top ranking. Then you move to the next stage. You choose what's ranking, and now you're figuring out all the keywords, all what you really need to put and what people are asking. And then the last stop is, and this will also take 3 minutes. And then the next 3 minutes basically will write you a white paper, a research white paper, scientifically written with citations on all the research you've done. This used to take us a week. It now takes us 15 minutes, 10 minutes. Okay. The next part is these are all writing agents. So if the ones that don't see, I went to the next page. We have right here 5 agents. These are each trained agents. This agent only knows how to write blogs. This agent only knows how to write newsletter, but we trained it with the best in the business, with SEO, with AI. These things rank immediately because we know exactly how to do it and we've been doing it for years. So the next one is service pages, landing pages, social posts. We have 5 agents we haven't opened to the public yet, which are ad writers and a bunch of really cool other things, but I'll show you something. So let's put AI education. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm going to ask this tool to basically scour the internet, scour all the research we have, my database, and figure out on this research topic, AI education, one, what do people want to know?
Mm-hmm.
And two, who does the best job online already doing it, already ranking, that we can look at what they do and improve. So look at
Mm-hmm.
this. This would have taken 3 days for a
Yeah, just
research.
to do the research.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have all of the related questions. Okay. Every related question that people actually want to know about AI that I can put into this thing. Okay. And then I'll show you here. This is really cool. These are the currently ranked pages on this keyword.
Okay.
Okay. I can take their headers. I can figure out everything that they're doing. I can say I want to use this one or the other one. I can basically look at the entire internet, what's successful, what works, and choose something. And based on my knowledge base, then I can basically ask it, okay, now I want you to write something. Now
Mm-hmm.
we can add secondary keywords. Let's say we want to put our company name, or we
Mm-hmm.
want to put something else, so we put, Wexler.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you can do it as much. I'm putting garbage in right now, but
Yeah.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean
Yeah.
when you work on it. So now I added additional keywords. I can add additional keywords if I want. Now I can figure out either the tone that I have, which we upload, or if I want to be formal, casual, friendly, technical, creative, whatever I want. Let's say I want to be casual and friendly. So then I get the content spreadsheet and then I generate content. Within 5 minutes, you're going to have award winning content.
Yeah. Let me pause here because as you're speaking, I feel like there are two. I love this, by the way. Like as a creator, as a personal brand person, like I love it. I think it's fabulous. But I think that there are two people. There are people like me who are like, this is amazing. Like, listen, because I right now have a problem. I have so much content, Zev. I don't know what to do with myself. I don't have the time. I'm overwhelmed by the amount of content that I have, and I'm not great at like putting it, matching it with my keywords, matching it with my branding, right? And so on. And then so there's people like me who are like excited, I want this tool, I need this tool. And then there are people on the flip side who are like, listen, it's losing that authenticity. It's not really the same as you, right? I see that argument coming up. I can imagine. So what do you say for those people who are like, but it's not the same as Elena writing or.
Absolutely. If you use a chat GPT, it's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
But what you need to understand is the system, like what I just showed you, read everything I ever wrote,
Okay.
knows how I speak, has watched probably 300 hours of me speaking. Okay.
Okay.
This system knows me just as much as I know myself.
Mm-hmm.
And this system mimics what works for me based on the 40 years of experience I have. So
Yeah, I get it.
absolutely, if you use off-the-shelf tool, if you use that level one, 100%, it's not authentic. And I'll share something. there are things that ChatGPT and all of those things do that for any of like a professional AI user, you immediately know they use ChatGPT and I stop reading. One
Mm-hmm.
of them is those two dashes together. Have you ever seen that?
Maybe, yeah. There's certain
Spacing.
signs, yes. There's certain signs
Okay.
when people post, yeah.
And when you post with that, then you are unprofessional. You
Mm,
did not put enough time into this, and 80% of the stuff I see online right now is that. Okay?
yeah,
People don't write anymore. You can tell me you write, but you use freaking Chat GPT because
yeah,
you're lazy and you don't have time.
yeah.
So now that's bad. But if you have a system that knows how you wrote before AI and just then there is no difference. Somebody can look at my LinkedIn. I post something every day. Okay? Nobody can know it's AI, but of course there is an AI component into it. How can I post like a whole video every day?
Yeah.
Like that should be my job. But I do it because of AI. And I put myself out there because of AI. Now, avatars. Let's talk about avatars. Some people are like, oh, avatars are so weird. I have avatars of me working right now and nobody knows. My chief AI officer, every video he ever posted in life was an AI avatar. Our own team doesn't even know.
Mm. I
Okay.
saw one of them, I remember, yeah. They're
So
brilliant. Mm.
again, I'm going to give another analogy. You are very good with horse and buggy, and now the car came in.
Mm-hmm.
You can choose not to go to the car, and the horse and buggy is always going to be there, but you're going to be obsolete.
Yeah.
Um, it's just AI is here and we're going to use it. There are better ways to use it to make sure that it actually conveys who you are.
Mm. Yeah, no, it's very exciting, and it's just, and I'm sure people listening to this are just like probably thinking of, I think you've opened up like a different door. Even for me, it's like, okay, there's so many different ways, because again, like I'm an amateur when it comes to AI usage, and I think that there's just so many more tools out there that simply we don't know about. And honestly, even when I talk with companies, like so many companies don't even know where to start with implementation of AI, and they just do it wrong or just kind of pause because they don't even know how to get started. So like, when you work with companies or talk to leaders, like what are some biggest mistakes you see companies make when they're trying to incorporate AI? Where do people start, I guess? Like what's an easy for a leader listening to this? They're like, where do I even start?
So you got to start with education.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You can't, if you're a CEO of an organization and you have 500 employees, 5,000 employees, 50,000 employees, you can't shove something down. Okay. It's not going to work. You need to educate and you need to show that you're supporting these people with what's going on. And then you need to slowly bring in tools that solve certain problems that you know how to solve, but will save you a lot of money, time. And then you put something that actually does more opportunities. So
Mm-hmm.
the two first things you got to do with AI is one, redundancy, saving time, saving money. Every company I've ever met, you can save 20%, literally. Okay. The other part is with opportunities. Those are two really easy things. One thing that I love to do with every company is what in AI we call the RAG, retrieval augmented generation. That's basically building your own AI in your company. An AI that doesn't know the entire internet, only knows what you need it to know and works only for you. And then what happens when we build that inside the tech stack of businesses? First of all, we see everybody's using it. And second, the valuation of the company rises because now you have AI inside your technology stack.
Mm-hmm.
So, first steps, redundancy. Second step, opportunities. Third step, really figure out a knowledge base. That is going to separate you from 80% of the people out there. When you have an AI that is intimately aware of you, everything you've done, your pluses, your minuses, and how you win, that's the AI that's going to bring in. And another thing, don't look at AI as a software. You're not bringing in a software. You're bringing in a technological entity.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's say that you would hire me right now, Elena, to be your head of sales.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Would tomorrow I'm going to meet your biggest clients?
No.
Probably not, right? You're
Mm-hmm.
going to train me,
Yeah.
you're going to test me, I'm going to learn about your product. Same with AI.
Mm-hmm.
When you get an AI, the AI is not ready to be deployed to be facing the public, the customer. The AI needs to learn. And the
Mm,
problem with all these custom off the shelf, not custom, off the shelf AIs is they'll never learn. It's just that's not what they're built. They're built at taking your data and giving it to ChatGPT, Claude, Anthropics. They want your data. That's why they make it free.
yeah.
Okay? But they use your data for their things. If you actually build a knowledge base, now you use your data for your benefit. And
Mm,
we've seen companies sometimes go 3x in valuation, 3x. Like they were 10 million, now they're 30, they're 100, now they're 300 after putting like an AI convolutional neural network that knows everything about their business.
mm. What are your thoughts on, when as people begin to use AI more and more, especially when it's customizable and all that, do you feel like maybe there's some level of innovation and creativity that might be lost from the human and we just rely so much on inputting information AI that we don't spend time like on the creative work ourselves? Do you think that will be lost?
100%. I don't think it will be lost, and it depends on the person, but I'll give you another funny analogy. Back in the day, you needed to remember how to get to somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And I remember I used to drive everywhere and I used to remember how to get to
Mm.
places.
Yeah.
Okay? Then came the GPSs.
Yes.
Okay? God save me if I don't have the GPS. Now, when I go somewhere, even if I've been there before, because my mind is so reliant on the GPS, I don't need to pay attention to the road anymore. So is
Mm-hmm.
some of that going to happen? Absolutely. But it's going to allow you to do more things. So that's the difference, whether you're just going to, surrender to AI or see what more you can do with AI. The way
Mm-hmm.
I see it, I have 20 brilliant employees that will do everything that I say. So that frees my mind to be more creative.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that conversation I told you about on that Sunday night with the AI, it was all my creativity, all
Yeah.
my stuff, my ideas, and we developed a contest for the team. We developed like so many things. It was all based on my mind, but now I have 10 like PhDs to put it together so in a good way for my team. They also know my team. So now they know how, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So
Yep.
for 80-20, for 80% of people, absolutely, it's going to make them stupider. For 20% of people, it's going to make them, you know,
Yeah.
invincible.
Yeah. No, no, I like that. And then it's like you have this team, like you say, you have a team of PhDs that you don't have to worry about their emotions as well. As harsh as that sounds, you don't have to manage. You don't have
Do
to
you want to
manage,
hear
which is
something cool though?
difficult. Yeah.
We've done our research, and this is so cool. Actually, when you're nice and kind to your AI performs better.
No, stop. I don't
I
want to know this. I don't, oh God, now we're going
If
somewhere
you are
else.
kind and nice, if you are not like pushy, bossy, if you don't treat your AI like a slave, your AI actually works better. When you treat the AI as an equal, when you are kind, the AI works better. I know it makes no sense, but that's part of the reason
Oh
why I
my
think
God.
we've never invented AI. We just found it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Listen, I don't even want to think. Now you've opened up another door in my head that I'm scared to even think about. But that's a whole other exciting but scary thought that this is like it actually registers. Like, you know what I'm saying? That this can be proven. But listen, it's very intriguing everything you're saying. And like I said, I'm a pretty like I'm that first adopter, like maybe an amateur, but I'm definitely excited about AI. Before I ask you my last question, if people listening to this and like, Zeev, sold, I want to talk to you, I want to understand this content tool, like, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
Reach out to me on LinkedIn. I literally live on there.
Is it you or
Just
your
reach.
AI? Who's going to respond?
Hey, I'm
Somebody's
gonna
going to
know. I'm
respond.
gonna be notified in every step,
There you
and
go.
I'll interject. But LinkedIn, my email is zwexler@wexlerllc.com. You can reach out to Viacry, that's our AI development company, and we'd love to help you. I'm very active. I love to educate, and I'm not shy to, share with you what we have before we ask anything of you. And there's one point before you ask your last question I want to ask you and share with your audience.
Go for it.
Who do you think, Elena, is the persona of the best AI user?
Is that a trick question? Would it,
A little bit.
who
I've
is
never heard anybody give me the right answer on that
who
because
is the
it's
persona of a, say it, repeat it again?
who is the persona? Describe to me
Hmm.
male, female, age, what they do, who is like the number one, the best AI user?
It depends on the user,
Okay.
right? I don't know. Like it depends. It's like if you're asking me, the persona, it would be whoever I create based
No,
by
no,
I
but
don't
I'm
know.
saying
Like
like as a target market. Think about, target marketing. So
okay,
who is like, give me
okay.
one thing that they are like, they're really good, they're equipped to deal with AI. So I
Um,
won't throw you under the bus too much. Most
yeah,
people tell
yeah.
me
No, but
students
it's student.
or students, yeah, students
I
or
wouldn't.
techie guys or geeks or, most
Yeah, I
people
was
think
thinking like yeah, like a techie person. Yeah.
no, okay?
Okay.
The best person to use AI is a lady with 15 years of experience without AI.
Why?
First, ladies, and this is I gotta give kudos to my wife, but she taught me that. But ladies speak on average 21,000 words a day.
Oh yeah, makes sense.
Male
Yeah.
speaks 7.
Yeah, yeah.
We just want to do stuff quick. We want shortcuts. You guys give context. AI
Yes.
needs context. 15 years of experience is exactly what I said. If you know how to solve something before AI, now you're freaking dangerous with AI. But if you don't know how to solve it without AI, AI is not going to help you. So you need that chunk of experience and you
Yes.
need to be able to communicate well. If you don't communicate well to an AI, and I see it in all my young employees, none of my employees, not even the prompting engineers, can prompt like me
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because I've been through it.
Yes.
And when stuff comes out, I can identify within seconds that this is crap.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes shiny crap, but still crap.
Yeah.
They don't because they've
Yeah.
not been through it. So if you are a lady with 15 years of experience, you are the best person to use AI for your benefit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think it's solid. It makes complete sense. Yes, I agree. And women provide more context, and you need to have that experience so you see, so you can challenge it and kind of have a conversation versus just take what it and it's like, okay, well, that's what it's saying without challenging the content of it and the meat of it, essentially. So yeah, no, that makes sense. No, great question. The last question I have for you is something that I ask all of my guests at the end of this conversation, and it's what is one question you wish people would ask themselves more often?
How can I grow? I truly believe, my dear, with all my, you were either growing or dying. So if you're
Hmm.
not growing, you are dying. I think people think that they can rest on their laurels, and that's just not possible in this universe. So if ask yourself, how can I grow? And if you want to use this AI, how can I grow with AI?
Mm, beautiful. Zev, you've blown my mind, made me even more curious and excited about AI, and hopefully for my audience the same. Thank you so much.
Thank you. A pleasure being here.